All right. Here we are. Here we are. Make it happen with Joel Rodriguez Torado. My name is John Robert Quinn, and I'm the producer. And we're going to be talking about financial services today. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you? How's everybody doing?
We have been busy. We have been very, very busy, and that's an understatement for both of us.
Yes, it
It
is.
has been a very, very crazy year so far.
Yep, and we're only in the second month so far, and
It's it's going to be a good year.
it's gonna be great.
It's going to
I
be a
mean,
really,
it
really
started
good year.
great. There's a lot of stuff happening.
Mhm.
You just got to keep going through it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's exciting though.
it is exciting.
You know what's so funny is we struggle. We have our struggles. We're
hmm
business owners. That's just what it is. At no point is it not fun. Isn't that hilarious?
I laugh at some of these situations, and
Uh-huh.
I sometimes ask myself, how did I get here? But
Uh-huh.
I got here because I put myself here.
You just
So
keep going. Yeah.
realizing what you're doing
Yeah.
is number one key to keep propelling you forward.
All right. So we're gonna be talking about what today?
First, I want to emphasize about financial services how the fear of financial services. Everybody hears financial services, and they don't encompass exactly what it is in financial services. A lot of people think accounting.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think numbers, investing,
Mm-hmm.
all those things. But financial services is one of the main educations that should be going on in your life. Yet people are afraid to have those.
Okay.
I'll share a story about Jason and his wife, right? Jason and his wife, 31 years old, right? Year and a half ago, they bought a home,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I was talking to him, and he kept giving me the run around, and I
Mm-hmm.
kept telling him, hey, you know what? Our offices can give you a complimentary FNA, which
Mm-hmm.
is a financial needs analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, I know you don't want to talk about money. A lot of us don't like to talk with people about money,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not just some random person. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
person that understands the industry and can give you the education you may need
Mm-hmm.
to help you along your life, not just yours, but also
Mm-hmm.
your wife.
Mm-hmm.
So you can understand where to budget properly, how
Mm-hmm.
to do savings, how to open accounts that are going to be benefiting you
Mm-hmm.
over the long course. When we finish having those conversations, and he actually was able or decided that he wanted to book a schedule with me, we were able to do the financial needs analysis, which was a great thing because in there we found a lot of time wasted.
Mm-hmm.
We found money wasted,
Mm-hmm.
and we created a plan for him, right, and his wife on how to pay not just his debt, but also how to pay his home down in a certain amount of times. I mean, over the course of time, we reduced everything that he would have paid between 50 to $100,000 in savings, right? Not only that, we reduced 8 to 10 years out of his pay and his debt, both combined, right? So he comes up to my office last week, and he just showed up. He didn't call me. He didn't. I was
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the office. He knew I was in the office because it's the day of training, and we started talking. You know, it was humbling to see that what I did for him, and he came just to thank me.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Joel, I've been able to save so much money.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to even open accounts for me to pay myself first. How
Mm-hmm.
to understand those avenues, and where we're spending some of that money. And to be able to do that for him and his wife, educate them. They're now
Mm-hmm.
32, 33. But it was just that ease of access and the opportunity that they gave me, that they opened up, got over their fears. Because even his wife was like, I don't want to talk about my money. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
Mm-hmm.
needs to know
Mm-hmm.
where my money's going.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. I don't want to know specifics of what you do with your money. I want to go over specific on how to save your money, right?
Yeah, and the thing is we all think that we've got it all figured out because we
Mhm.
have our patterns or we have our understanding, whatever that is, right?
Yep.
We have our habits, we have we don't know what we don't know, but at the same time, um, a fresh perspective sometimes is really, really nice. It's not that you're trying to change someone's mind. It's
Mhm.
just that you're giving them something to think about.
Yeah. And that's what I loved about it. I asked him because his response was, I'm really grateful for it. I said, how did I help you?
Hmm.
How for you? I know I helped you, but I tell me. And as he was explaining it, seeing the gratefulness, and then so it's like, and he even stated, I didn't even want to talk to you about my
Yeah,
accounts,
yeah, yeah.
but realizing that we need to talk and have these conversations. These conversations are real conversations because if you look at the world in general right now, just even in the United States, we have so many families failing.
I know.
And you got people think, people that make six figures, a lot of people look at those people and they say, "Oh, they're making money."
We all are making six figures.
Listen, if you're making six figures, now you're in the 30%, 35% bracket in
I
taxes.
know.
Okay,
I know.
the more money you make, the more money you're gonna pay back.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a business, guess what? You don't empower yourself to have those type of deductions and
Yeah.
business
Yeah.
opportunities that you
Yeah.
can have
Yeah.
as an employee.
Yeah.
And keep it that in money mindset, you get taxed on every paycheck.
Yeah.
Then you also get paid taxed on how much you make a year. It's honest. Once you understand that,
And then after that, then you're paying sales tax and gas
sales
tax.
tax, we pay taxes and everything. I
I
mean,
know.
come on, look at the thing
How
that's
is there
going
any?
on in California
How is there
with,
any money left?
I don't even get it. We pay taxes on our registrations, we pay taxes on our car, we pay taxes on our gas, which is ridiculous, about $1.60 in
I know.
taxes
I know.
in gas. And now they're trying to implement a mileage tax
Mhm.
bill.
Mhm.
So how much taxes do we need to pay?
I don't know where
We
the money's supposed to. How you're supposed to survive at the end.
most of our money. So this is why, I want to request, our audience that, if you feel like something is captivating or you need to hear about something, don't have the fear of not giving us a call. You don't
Mhm.
have to give me a call, but I would love for you to give me a call.
Mhm.
702-927-2714. Talk about situations that you're having some concerns about.
Mhm.
Let's put you in a position where you can elevate not just you. If you have a family, elevate you and your family. And
Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
just you, then you elevate yourself so that way when you reach that time of retirement or you reach that time where you want to travel, you're in a position where you can do it without any worries.
Well, the other thing is again, you might be you might have your finances under control. You might already have everything in place. The F&A, you could sit down and at least get a second opinion.
Yep.
At the very, very least, get a second opinion or a fifth opinion if you've already had four other opinions. And you might just learn something.
Yeah. Feel confident about it. Start learning about your liabilities. What are your assets? We talked about this before, where we say every time people come to my office and I will ask, what is your biggest asset, right? They talk about their watch collections, their shoe collections. They talk
Mhm.
about their toys and
Mhm.
guns and everything. And I'm like, no, you are the biggest asset
Yeah, I know.
in your home.
Yeah.
And if you have a family, you are the greatest asset to that family because
Mhm.
without you, you wouldn't have all those things that you
Yes.
have.
Yes.
Understanding that once you understand you are a big asset and not your random stuff that you buy
Correct.
and
Correct.
your hobbies and your collections, once you understand that, then you put more value in you and your family.
I've always told people, and I mean, this might be the wrong the wrong advice, but I've always told people, and in fact, I told this to you not too long ago. Quit investing in things that are speculative.
Mhm.
Invest in you.
Yep.
Very, very simple. Invest in you.
You
It's
are the best investment.
you are the only investment that you can
Uh-huh.
guarantee a return.
Yep.
Everything else is speculation. Real estate, gold, silver, Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. It's going to go up or it's going to go down without you.
That is something that it took me a while to realize is, you know, I was investing a lot in myself, but I have a humble heart. So I was always trying to not just invest in myself. I was always investing in other people and investing. And at times, it can drain you because
Yes.
if you don't have the individuals in front of you that are grabbing what you have to give and they're also succeeding with you, then okay. But when you have people that are actually just draining you and you constantly feel like, hey, I just want to help this person. I just
Yeah,
want to
but
help
you
this
have to lead
person.
by example.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do it first. You do it first, and then the people that are noticing,
Just
they'll be
they'll
there
just
with you,
mm,
right? And I think that's you and I do it with each other.
mhm.
You are just some rando, just a random guy that messages me on YouTube one day because you saw my magazine, and I mean, how many times have we gotten a random message from somebody on social media and you don't even respond? And I mean, the point is that you had something to say. It forced me to respond. We scheduled a sit down, and look at what it's become. It's become a really, really great
It's been a
friendship.
great year.
It's been a great
Yeah,
friendship,
it is.
and I feel like I actually know you. It's not just there's this guy. I feel like we actually we know about each other.
Yeah.
We've been through some things. We've been through your father's thing together,
Hmm.
and you've been a part of the magazine. You've seen the inner workings and the outer workings of the magazine and how well it's grown, And that comes from leading by example. And so, with the financial services, the first thing I did is I came on board, right?
Mhm.
That's what you do. You support your friends. The other
It's
side of
that,
it
right.
though is that when you make a recommendation, I take the recommendation. And it's the same thing with my business.
Mhm.
When I make a recommendation, you take the recommendation. And again, it's just leading by example.
Yep, because we're both looking into each other for the
Yeah.
success that we're
Yeah.
having,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we're having those hard conversations at times. Like,
Yeah.
why is this happening,
Yes.
man? And then we talk about
Business
people,
is
but
business is tough. When you invest a lot of money into your business, the business is sometimes going to take, months or years to recoup that money,
Mhm.
especially when you're building something from scratch. And if you don't know that, um most people are going to jump ship because they're expecting some sort of gratification. They don't know how long they can hold on, right? As an example, you start a business, you're like, how long is this going to take to start making money? God, it could be 2 months, it could be 2 years, it could be 20 years. And people don't want to wait that long, right? They've got other obligations. And so you and I both know I've been doing this a heck of a lot longer than you have, but you and you have a good understanding that it's going to take time to actually, and a lot of work to actually build something that's going to be fruitful, which I think really gets into our next conversation, and that's the accountability and bringing people into your organization that are looking for something new and something fresh.
yeah. In that accountability, it's what are people looking for,
Mhm.
but also who's holding you accountable. I told you that one of the main things that I ask other associates and partners that want to join the industry is, do you allow me to hold you accountable moving forward? I would like to bring you in, but before I would like you to answer me this question: do you allow me to hold you accountable? And they go,
Explain to me what accountability is.
accountability is holding someone suggestive to what their plans and goals that they set forward
Mhm.
and their due diligence in their schedule, right? Blocking out your schedules and stuff, saying that you're going to do something and you're doing it. When you're saying something just to say and make somebody feel good about themselves, or make them feel good like you are doing something and you're not, you need to hold yourself accountable. And it can be yourself sometimes. Sometimes it has to come from person like yourself, right? You have come to me a lot of the times. I don't take anything personal
Mhm.
because what you have to say, it's real,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You're an acknowledgement of what the business is doing,
Mhm.
and you're calling out something. Hey, maybe I need that pickup, and
So
it's what all of us need.
I wrote a book years ago called Accountability Show Up and Win. And the only reason I wrote the book is because there were so many people that came to me that wanted to grow their business. They wanted to take their business to the next level. Okay, well, let's schedule a sit down. And then they'd reschedule. Okay,
They
we reschedule
reschedule.
again. And after like two reschedules or three reschedules, I'm like, I don't have any interest in working with it because they're never going to do what I ask them to
They're not
do.
seeing the importance behind it, and
Well,
I love how you said, because I say that all the time in my trainings. When my partners say, "Oh, I'm not learning anything. It's hard," show up.
all you have to do is show
You've
up.
missed 3
Yeah.
trainings. Show up.
The problem I have is this, and I ask people. In fact, I probably have said this to you once or twice. Is if you had an appointment with the president of the United States, would you have rescheduled or missed that appointment?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either, right?
It's
So
priority. I'll be there 1 hour before.
I'd be there the day before. The
Yeah.
point is that when people schedule appointments, they're coming to me with a problem. They're trying to figure out how to grow their business. They're trying to figure out how to find a solution to a problem. And I may or may not have that answer. But with 30 years experience, I'm probably going to have something to give them in terms of
Mhm.
some
Yeah.
something insightful, right? And if they can't make the appointment, we already know where the problem is, right? So if you had a meeting with the president, would you reschedule or miss that appointment? The answer is probably no, right?
Mm-mm.
So how am I any different? Because you find yourself more important than me? That's narcissism.
Mhm.
Because I can tell you that if I had emergency surgery tomorrow and you and I had an appointment for Sunday, I'd be there Sunday
Mhm.
because I've done it twice now.
And I'll still be at the hospital with you,
You,
waiting.
you see what I'm
You
saying?
get it?
No, seriously.
No, it's a serious thing.
No.
It's knowledge is power, and that's the power we're trying to bring into this conversation. Is making sure that people understand financial services a little bit more
Mhm.
when it comes to budgeting, when it comes to savings, when it comes to retirement, when it comes to protecting your life. I mean, protecting your life, it should be one of the number one things because it's you who are the asset.
You have homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
You have car insurance.
You have phone insurance,
You have
tablet
you have
insurance,
pet insurance,
watch insurance, but you don't have life
you don't
insurance.
have insurance on you. It
It,
makes no
it's
sense to
it,
me.
it makes no sense.
Yeah.
People sit in front of me and the importance. And I have had this. This is a real conversation just recently. He's explaining how important his family is
Uh-huh.
and how he loves his kids. And he
Well,
has 4 kids.
what's going to happen if something happened to you today?
Well, he
Are you
knows
going to
it,
protect your? Are you going to be able to protect your family?
but it didn't matter because I was bringing okay. So if you're not interested right now in protecting your family, I want to bring you back to the beginning. In the beginning, you started with how important my kids are and how much you love them, and you want to make sure they're set up. Your wife, right? You want to make sure everything's good. What's keeping you from getting the life insurance?
Money.
And it wasn't money. It was just in his head. And he goes, well, I got to think about all this and all this process and how this is going to be. Okay, so explain to me, help me understand for the future people that will come to my office,
Mhm.
understand why you're having this undecisive, like why won't you move forward with protecting your life.
Mhm.
And I said, I'm sure that phone and that Apple Watch that you have is insured. He laughed like, yeah, they are.
So
It's like,
why aren't you
so why aren't
insured?
you insuring
It
your
just
life?
makes no sense to me.
At the end of the day, and I emphasize it. He did call me back 2 days later. He wants to schedule another appointment. But I said, what's gonna happen to your family if something happens to you tomorrow?
Like, do
Like,
you ride a motorcycle?
like
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could happen like right now, dude.
it can happen at any time. I mean,
Yeah.
our birth certificate only has one date.
Did you see that yesterday on Highway 50 between
Mhm.
Folsom Boulevard?
Something happened. I didn't read the whole
Well,
thing.
between Folsom Boulevard and Bidwell, there were 3 car accidents at the same time. At the same time. And 2 of them were 3 car accidents. One was a rollover and one was a regular car accident. And and they were all separate. They weren't even together.
My accident with my truck created 3 accidents.
Did it really?
Yeah, yeah. So when the
Dude.
guy hit my truck, we're heading out of conversation, but I'll
Yeah.
do it quick. When the guy hit my truck, the wheel went rolling.
Uh-huh.
So as it was rolling, one car slammed on his brakes.
Uh-huh.
So the car behind him ended up hitting that car. My wheel continued to go into the intersection where a car
Mhm.
tried to evade it, but ended up hitting another car. 1, 2, 3.
And then the guy who hit you is the one at fault. So his insurance is probably going to cover all. Oh, he didn't
What
have
insurance?
He didn't have insurance.
He took off. It was a
That's
hit and
right.
run. He
That's
took off on
crazy.
foot.
On foot.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
He took off on foot. Eventually, CHP was able to find out who the owner was because it was still registered to the old owner. They
Got it.
find the new owner. They went over to their house and couldn't find the guy because it was a guy that was
Yeah,
driving.
yeah.
The lady said the car was stolen. Mind you, I think I told you,
Yeah.
the car was turning into the property that they live in.
Yeah.
So the car wasn't getting stolen.
Wild.
I want to meet that robber that stole the car and was
Took
bringing
it
the car back.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. No, wild.
But it's wild how
Wild.
things are. But
But
look,
you just don't know how things are going to
Mhm.
happen, and that's how quick life happens for people.
and you saw the car. So the actual thing I want to say about this, you saw the car.
I didn't see the car. I saw your
I-
truck.
you didn't see the picture of the car? I got
Uh-uh.
to show you the picture of the car.
Yeah.
I'm happy I was in my truck.
Oh yeah, the truck was
It
jacked
saved me,
up.
even
Yeah.
though they took me to the hospital because I passed out.
Yeah.
He hit me really so hard
Yeah.
that his motor from his Mercedes Benz was on the ground. Right, his whole front was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how hard he hit me.
Well, you had crash bars in the front of your truck, and the
Yeah, I
crash
got
bars
steel-
were smashed.
Steel frames.
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
and that was hit.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, in that instant, imagine if I was in some other car, if I was
a little
walking,
Kia or walking.
or if I was walking, if I was in a
How
scooter.
about the lady that was just killed standing at the bus? Did you hear about this?
Oh, man,
At the
it's
light
so
rail
sad.
station,
Yep,
and the
the light-
Tesla landed on top of her.
Yeah, it's sad.
Unbelievable, dude.
Mhm.
Unbelievable. Just waiting for the
You
train.
never know. That's
Yeah,
why we have to
it's
prepare
crazy.
because, it we always make it sometimes about us, and that's okay. We have a life. We want to be happy. We want to live an abundant lifestyle and have fun. But when you start having families and you start having kids, at the end of the day, you want to be remembered not for living, but for what you left behind and what you did for your family,
Mhm.
right? Those are the
How
greatest
you protected
examples.
them. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, when you're gone, they're going to remember that where some of the other memories are going to be gone.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
a lot of people don't understand that process of,
yeah.
when you pass away, the grief is only temporary,
I know it
you
is.
know? And then,
They'll remember birthdays and they'll remember those types of things, the wedding and those types of things. But
but there will be tons of days where you won't even be thought about.
I know. I know.
hmm
Yeah.
So you know what? Give them something that they can think about when they're growing, when they're opening up a business,
Yeah.
when they're stable,
Yeah.
when they're buying a car.
They're buying their
You
first
know,
house.
when they have the knowledge that, wow, if my dad or so wouldn't have done this for us,
I know.
I wouldn't have the knowledge. Knowledge is power.
I know. I
So
know.
if knowledge is power, why don't you knowledge the power in the financial services for you and your home?
No, it's wild. It's wild, wild, wild. Okay, so um let's start to wrap up. Let's look at why you're so passionate about this.
I'm passionate about it because and like I mentioned, it's the caring factor about it. I always tell individuals, look, I'm not gonna sell you anything. I'm gonna give you an education in financial services. I'm gonna give you all the angles, what things are, how can they benefit you. If we end up doing business, great. But the greatest factor about it that I love the most is that I'm empowering somebody that didn't know what I just provided them with.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense, I became a teacher to a student that needed the information, and that student is going to get an A+ on his test.
Mm-hmm.
That's what propels me, is the educational part. By you doing the right thing, your business grows. Referrals are abundant. People love what you have to give. And when you're doing the right thing for individuals, that means that individual also have what? A phone with contacts, referrals,
Mm-hmm.
people that they know will need this information.
Mm-hmm.
And now I did not just help that family. Now I'm helping the other family and the next family over.
Correct.
So my passion behind financial services is because also I didn't have it when I was growing up. I I made tons and tons of money. If I knew what I know now, I would have been in a better position than I am
I
now.
know.
So because I
Mm-hmm.
am starting in a later age and stage in life, that means that I have to invest more. Not just more of my time, but more of my money and more of my time in terms of getting more knowledgeable and understanding the products, and so that we can give better options to individuals. Not just one option on how to grow into retirement, but give you different types of options that are going to benefit your lifestyle. Because that's the one thing that and I'm not gonna put any agents bad, but I don't like when agents just provide the options to one option.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about, the commission is always great and the money's great in this industry. It should be more about doing the right thing for the families, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I love the most about it.
Joel Rodriguez Torado. Torado.
Not Toledo.
Not Torito. 702 927 2714. 702 927 2714 or mih-firm.com. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
I
man?
just want to add and remind the audience that don't have the fear of having the questions and concerns about your financial services. Educate yourself. The more you learn, the more you will do with your life and your family.
702 927 2714. mih-firm.com. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Thanks
guys
for
for
having me. I
listening.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's your show. All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.